Hey, everybody, where's our Zoomer here, Pat?
Hello.
And we're all sort of discombobulated today, I think, a little bit. But I'm going to set the mood. I want it to be a nice mellow mood for the holidays. I saw Overhand Sam and Bad Weapon last night. Had you not known, and I brought you in there, you would have thought with the backdrop, with the music, that you were seeing a Syd Barrett era Pink Floyd show. So I want you to get all mellow.
Wow.
Don't take any illicit stuff, though, please. I don't want to promote that.
No.
But we're going to have some cool conversation we're very lucky to have our very cultured, I suppose, or something. Dal and Chaz back joining us.
Yeah, reunited. I haven't been hanging with Del in, I don't know, what is it, like forever, like since the 80s, right, Del?
And a big hello to my colleague.
No, I ran into you after that, about 10 years ago.
Time flies.
Yeah, right.
I've been seeing that more. That's the theme lately.
10 years ago, I ran into somewhere.
I like that. 10 years ago, I just happened to run into you.
Yeah.
Now, I've been doing that a lot with friends lately. I've been going, like Sam Snyder. I said, I met him in Michaela in 2012, but it's been 10 years already. And people I've known, you says, how long? Over 20? I don't know with you, Del, how long? Forever. Patrick, since I was 1.
I was a little bit curious. Your friend there, Michaela, when did she start? When did she come out? Do you have a little background on her?
She studied with Grace Swan. She went to the Crane School of Music, and she came out around 2011, 2012 she started. And I met her, it was I call it the year 2012 was when I met another generation of my friends, Josh Netsky, Sam Snyder, her, because my plastic son played at Love and Cup. And she opened, and I just meet them all. And it was Roy Ston, who's never gone out of it, and I just made friends with all of them. And it's nice following them, seeing where they've gone. It's amazing. The kids are all right around here in terms of music.
Well, yeah, I'm glad that they're into it. It's still kind of a scene that goes on forever.
And they know their history too. That's they really know. You could bring
which is rare.
Which is rare. It's I've had people. I still remember when I was in Wegmans one time, these kids were talking in front of me. They said, I saw this weird guy on TV. He had makeup and this funny voice. And I just happened to be nosy. I said, Bob Dylan. And they looked at me and said, who's Bob Dylan? Some of the English got me at the old Toad. Okay. Some bands, yes, you're not going to know, but when you're English, you don't know who the Kinks or the Who are.
Oh, I know. Have you ever heard of the New Dylans with Bob Riley or Riley? Something Riley.
No,
that's
they were kind of like a Dylan-esque type group in Rochester for a while.
Oh, I have my guilty pleasure. I play his Christmas album every December. Can't help it. I like it. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I didn't know that. I never saw the New Dylans, Del, but they were the same guys that were in Supermarket.
No, that's a different group. I know the Supermarket guy was a guy I used to do video stuff with. I forgot his name. You had him on a couple of weeks ago, actually.
Oh, Bob Gawkey.
Hypermarket.
Yeah, Bob Gawkey. Yeah, Bob Gawkey.
That's what I meant.
Bob Gawkey. Yeah, Bob Gawkey. Yeah.
He's going to come back.
There's about 20 different Bobs.
He's done with classes after this week. He's going to return. He just had a one-man show. Where do we collect all of these people?
You're the one.
But I was going to ask you. You said this is like a free-for-all. We're just going to chat, have fun. But one thing I wanted to ask, because I know Del and I probably Chaz you for sure back there. What's the appeal of collecting? Can you describe it? It's some people think we're weird and we're hoarders and everything, but is it the chase in a way too, or just do we have some OCD where we have to amass things, or is it fulfilling a void in our life?
Myself,
I don't have a blonde with 3 dragons.
Exactly, that happens a lot. But in my case, it was kind of I looked at it like archaeology. I thought, I got to collect this stuff because it'll disappear someday, and I need to have a record of it. So that's why I got into all sorts of collecting. Of bands from Rochester and NASA stuff that I like. Yeah, it's sort of like archaeology in a way.
And I think it's part of wasn't the chase always fun? Because now you could go on Amazon, you can go on whatever. Before, like if somebody like my one friend, okay, he likes Kiss a lot, whatever. Everybody likes what they like. But for years, he wanted to see Kiss Meets the Phantom again. This was in high school. He would search it. I would get a call. I think it's on Toronto Channel tonight, and trying to find it, where now you could just obviously, but it was the thrill of the chase, or finding like the rare thing, or like these, stuff.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Obviously, I have a lot of Jet Blackberries and New Mass stuff, stuff like that.
When YouTube first came out, I wanted to copy everything off of there.
Yeah, who knows how long this is going to be up there?
Like the Star Wars Holiday Special, which I still do watch every year. I admit it. But I remember when it first came out. I remember watching
it. I remember watching it live.
And I think there's a thing with Lucasfilm. Well, I know you won't, but not that one. But there's one where I have some seasons of the Muppet Show. I think they have the one year you can't find it because it has Mark Hamill. You could find some scenes online, but they have they have Harrison Ford, C-3PO on it.
It was Mark Hamill and C-3PO.
Yeah, I think Harrison Ford pops in for
he might have. Yeah, I can't remember, but I remember that episode because it was before Empire came out. I'm pretty sure, and either that or right around the time, and he was wearing his that beige jumpsuit thing that he had in Empire, and it was clear that that everyone seemed to like that outfit a lot better than his wispy farm boy outfit from the first movie. But it was just it was R2-D2 and C-3PO were on TV, and that was rare.
And it was
kind of cool. It was corny and cool at the same time.
Yeah.
It was fun going to the record store in the day too, when they get to know you and just say, well, what do you got here that's neat?
Yeah.
And find stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can find it now because Disney owns
early record archive was great when they had their own label and
the concerts down on Mount Hope, the concerts in the basement. You're going to like this one, Dal. And I know I told Chazzer we're going to have Alana Alderman on soon.
Woo!
So that's going to be a good one. And we're going to have Adriana on with her because it's sort of like, I think it'd be good to have like this generation, that generation.
That's cool.
If you could, like you said in the morning, if you could have gotten up to the show at 11 o'clock this morning, you could have been on.
Who was the girl that worked at Record Archive that was a performer? I haven't seen her. She must have got a different job.
Susanna Rose, I think. She was one of them.
Oh, I know her, yeah.
Could be her or someone else.
I think they have them in and out because I think I know Cam worked there for a while. I know Susanna, but I haven't remember with the COVID. Adriana's playing there in January, so I'm going to be down there, but I have not been in there just because I've been very careful with the good old COVID, and everything.
Oh, yeah.
So,
and I got a big family argument with that stuff going on. They don't know if they want to sit at the table and all this other stuff. It's stupid. With this COVID.
The one thing I'll give people is, some people are dumb. I used to say it was like Monsters do on Maple Street, but we've never faced this before in our lives. And sometimes you get put in these situations in our crazy, hyper-political, insane times, and it just gets nuts. And I think people lose common sense.
Yeah, that's the end of the day. That's really is.
I admit I'm like trying to picture when I'm going to get my flu shot.
There was a lot of movies that predicted all this stuff too. There was like probably this outbreak and the virus and all these other movies that predicted this kind of stuff.
Yeah, and this didn't come out of nowhere either. There's been for the last few years a lot of scientists are saying there's this is going to be a thing that's going to happen. They didn't know what it was going to be, and at some point we were poised for a global pandemic. So,
I just hope Ebola doesn't go around where you start having blood coming out of your eyes and stuff.
Well, that's the thing.
The interesting, this is not
got put down quickly.
The interesting, like looking at COVID, Africa's actually not hit too bad by it, and I think the reason is the way they're set up the living thing, like in terms of like. I think they're more isolated from each village to village.
Well, it depends. That's
little.
the thing.
I know about Cameroon. I don't know about a lot of other
population. There's a lot of Africa's a very big place, and there's a lot of populations big population centers like everywhere else. But there's just more. It's like the same thing with Canada. People, it's, as a whole, it's spread out more. And here, we have
the
coasts, and then the center, and then Yeah.
Yeah, how's it by you, Chris?
Here's what I'm wondering. Here's what I'm wondering is, and it doesn't seem to bear out at all, but is there a genetic, are there genetic differentials between different people's genetics from whatever continent they're from or whatever that would increase or decrease the mortality rates or incidence of infection? Doesn't seem like it, but that would be an
my head
interesting
on that one.
question.
I don't know.
I do know. I guess one thing I take lisinopril, and I guess lisinopril fights COVID for some reason. Some medical people told me that. So high blood pressure. Hey. I had a laugh. Okay, my sense of humor is a little warped, but I just saw Krispy Kreme. If you get vaccinated, will give you a free donut a day. So, great! You can, if you don't get COVID, you can get something else.
We'll give you diabetes for free.
Give you diabetes in the process.
Okay, don't worry.
Right. Oh, by the way, I wanted to mention that Chaz Lockwood and Stan Merrill, we're all the Rivers triplets or whatever. What was your nickname? Was it Tiny Rivers and some other Rivers?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Tiny Rivers. I remember that. I don't remember.
I remember that vaguely too.
Was.
You have to email Stan. I haven't talked to him in a bit just because I have to tell him how I died and everything and tell him I haven't been in touch.
He came back to life.
Hey, and I don't think Dell's mad at me, but I did used to be his webmaster for the Dell website, which is long gone. It evaporated into ones and zeros. But that was cool. I
figured out how to do it myself, and that's why I haven't really kept that one up. It's still around, I think. Like the one page is still there somewhere.
It was on one of those free host, free web, free platforms.
You should,
unfortunately, they take them down if they're not active or whatever.
You just gotta take a screenshot of it, turn it into an NFT, and then there you go. You're in the crypto game.
Yeah, we got to try to throw it into the internet.
Nobody does. That's why it's so cool.
I actually had a weird memory. This has no sense or anything. I went to go see Nancy Cartwright at Barnes & Noble, so I'm in line. I hear these people talking in front of me. I'm like, who the heck is this? Oh, it was Dell. You were in front of me in line at Nancy Cartwright. Which was
from
signing. She signed the book and everything. Yeah,
right.
Which was really funny. I thought that was
fun. That was a good time.
Yeah, it was like the funny part was I told her there was a Bart Simpson and St. John Fisher. And this is when the show was just starting. We made him have Bart Simpson parties in his room, and I told her, and she went into the voice and said, "I hope he saw the fun in it." Cool. Which was just kind of funny and everything, though. How?
Hey, Rob.
Yeah.
So you back to your question about collecting. I want to tell you something. So as somebody who doesn't get out to record stores or record day or anything like that, you know what I do? I go on eBay, and like right now, I just threw in Star Wars, and then just for giggles, I dial it up to the most expensive, and it's always fun to see.
Oh yeah,
somebody's selling a original Stormtrooper helmet for $39,000. 310 watts.
There you go.
Was this a film prop? Authorized film prop?
Yeah. So I was just thinking about. I'm not a Star Wars guy. Like I love it. I love the first 3 movies, but I'm not like a Star Wars nerd. Sorry to say the N word. Nerd. Star Wars nerd.
That's not a bad word.
But
that word.
We know
with Mac at school. I do IT, and it's all iMacs and Macs, and I have this theory that the Apple Mac is sort of the same strain of thought that it's influenced by Star Wars as design, because it's this whole California neo-futuristic sci-fi thing.
Yeah,
there's a connection there anyway with product design.
Probably
influenced
everything
by Star Wars.
Everything else,
I believe it.
I was actually thinking in terms of with our weird world, Dell, you're the expert on UFOs. If they decide to make contact, how do you think they would do it? If they really want to say, okay, we want to come and tell everybody we're here, how would you think would be their plan? How they would
contact has actually happened twice.
But in terms of all of us knowing, letting us know.
Once with President Eisenhower, he had a meeting with the aliens. They were like Nordic, so they look like humans anyway. And I think there was another contact somewhere. I don't have the information on that, but I know they, got together with Eisenhower, and that their demands weren't met on the alien side, so they kind of broke off relationships.
What's been going on recently
with the aliens that were with them?
I've seen you posted a thing by Richard Dolan. What's been going on recently in the world of UFOs? Have they just been saying, putting a sign up, "Don't come to this planet"? Or like
no, it's just that everything's the U.S. government is trying to whitewash everything. Like even if they admit that UFOs existed and they're flying around and stuff, they make it seem like it's just one thing here and there, and that's it. It's not. Doesn't mean there's people living on planets and stuff like that. It's supposed to be disclosure, but it's very, very subtle disclosure.
So let me
ask, they're not letting any secrets out.
Why?
So you were talking about,
but what? Here's my answer my wife's questions, and is why? Why does the government not want people to know that aliens are real? That's the thing. A question.
Listen, man.
To be honest with you, it has a lot to do with energy. Because if they find out that they know aliens, they can get the technology, gets rid of oil, and they don't want to get rid of oil. And so there's a lot of corporation bullshit going on. They don't want to let too much out.
Okay.
Yeah, Chaz, what were you going to say?
I was wondering, because we're talking about dialogue with the upper echelon, the people running government. So, the reptilians, you can spot the reptilians by watching TV, and if there's a analog TV, digital TV signal too. If the pixels get screwed up for a second, it'll expose their teeth and their reptile eyes just for like a millisecond. And I don't know if I really believe it, but if there was a reptilian, I know one of them might be Samantha Power. Check her out. Pull up some pictures of her. She's was ambassador to the UN. And now she's still got an important job.
Mark Marionetti, right?
I know Mark.
Oh yeah,
Mark Marionetti thing or whatever.
Yeah, the thing.
He told me that he saw a police officer that was a reptilian. They're kind of a little bit shapeshifter type people where they can disguise themselves.
Yeah, man.
Like they're reptilians underneath the skin.
There's a old
like
video
the science fiction show V.
Yep. Oh yeah, V.
Mm-hmm. They haven't pulled the video yet.
Just like that.
On YouTube, there's a video of Elvis doing a little shape shifting. His eyes bug out. He's meeting a little girl backstage, and they got to shut down the camera because it's oh shit, they don't want to expose what's going on. But you can find that.
Yeah, well, they said the Queen of England is supposedly a reptilian or something, but I'm not sure about that.
Well, yeah, I mean,
David Icke
slow down those pixels. There's some fangs there. I think she's more of a vampire than an alien, though. I think.
Oh, now we're
more like
that.
It's a whole different.
Kim Newman's Anno Dracula.
I'm just quiet over here.
You're thinking about it, mulling it over.
That's just recording.
Look, I don't want to yuck on anybody's yums, but I got everybody. Everybody.
You know what? Here's a good question. Do you think there's any truth, any theory of any celebrity who's faked their death and is still around somewhere?
I don't.
You mean like Morrison or Elvis?
Anybody you want.
Or the Kennedy guy who crashed his plane in the fog. They think he's
okay.
Yeah, his son.
Yeah, John.
I don't know.
That would be a possibility.
Can we, before we delve into that territory, can we not?
But Dale,
by the way,
you have some trivia.
This show's going to jeopardize.
I was going to tell you.
There's a certain letter I wrote down
to not
talk about on this.
Yeah, we kind of stay on course.
Okay. There's a
this one's for
I wonder what that one is.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of W's. I'm sorry. I'm just not a fan of W's. I'm a little.
This one's for Pat.
Shut down and
came up with.
Thank us.
Ours too. But I'm not even going to get into that.
I don't even. I've lost completely there. But you said you had some trivia you were thinking of, Del.
Yeah, well, just stuff about myself that I didn't come across, when I did the interview that I thought I mentioned it. I wrote a couple songs with Pat's brother, Mike. And one of the songs was called Master Race, which never came out. And it sounds just like an Alice Cooper song. If you tell Mike about that, I got that song floating around.
Yeah.
We are the master race. And I had a few things about, do you remember Scorgy's upstairs when they used to have the dressing room? Did you ever go up there with your brother?
Yeah.
They used to have a window that they used to piss out of.
That sounds about right.
And people used to get peed on. They would go to the edge of the window and freaking urinate on people who were outside the window. It was crazy times back then. It was like the late 70s, early 80s.
I almost went to.
I was up there in that dressing room with the band called the DBs and hung around with a guy, Joe King Carrasco, who was like a cool guy from Austin.
Oh yeah, Tex-Mex.
But I didn't do anything. I didn't pee out the window or do any like drugs or do anything really stupid. But yeah,
I was surprised to see the article that you sent about Nehru Zombie, the guys from Nehru Zombie. Chaz?
Yeah.
The guy's
cool
pretty
guys.
famous now.
Oh yeah. Luke got into the biz. I don't really know how he did it, but he got worked his way up, became an A&R man. Then he became the president of Beats, as in the headphone company.
Oh,
and
he's a billionaire.
They were starting. They were starting a music streaming service, like a competitor to iTunes.
Yeah.
And Apple just freaked the hell out, and they bought him out for like $2 billion.
Oh yeah.
He's got a
they bought him out
mansion in the Hollywood Hills. He's a cool guy.
Oh, that's good. You have
super nice guy too.
Actually, what are some good memories of Scourge you have, if you can remember those, considering how the day was in those days? Like some of the band.
I had a couple more. I
I
saw the Bangles there, which was pretty interesting. We were pretty close to them. I hung out with Michael Steele, the bass player from the Bangles. She's pretty cool.
Oh,
I was pogo dancing in front of her. That was a good time.
I still remember the Bugs for different things.
Have you seen Susanna Hoffs lately? She has not aged.
Yeah, I have actually seen pictures.
Yeah, she looks the same.
She looks the same.
She's a California girl. They always defy time.
Good genes, I guess. I don't know.
There's a good album with Susanna Hoffs and Matthew Sweet doing pop covers. He has aged. He has. Well, he's like me. He's expanded.
Nobody talks about Matthew Sweet enough. That I think he's very underappreciated, Matthew Sweet.
Something happened.
He was
and everybody kind of turned on him. I don't know. I feel like this was before the internet, but it was just more like he was cool, and then all of a sudden he just wasn't cool, and
Yeah, I heard he
was doing mostly cover songs for the last 3 years.
Yeah, I heard
want to hear something original.
We played in Buffalo or something and got into it with the crowd and got mean or something. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know his deal, but
was he trying to be Ryan Adams or something?
Yeah, one of those things.
Yeah.
And I don't even know like the recent stuff about him. I just know how he would act in crowds and stuff.
Yeah, well,
there's something worse came out, I guess.
Yeah, he's not a real great guy.
Well, we knew that. I didn't know that extent though.
Yeah, I think he's not handled his relationships very well.
Isn't it amazing though, like about how something will just wreck your career? Like famously, the Billy Squire thing where he's dancing around in a pink shirt and it turned all the metalheads against him.
That was really strange. I remember that, but it was just like you look at it now.
Who cares?
You look at it now, and it's just like, but it was odd for that time for that. But I feel like I always got a sense that he was trying to cross over into like a pop kind of.
Well, his music sort of was. It was sort of poppy.
But yeah, and he was trying to, and I really felt like that was a whole like it was very 80s, very colorful. Yeah, and
Yeah, I think the '80s ruined it for a lot of people. Some people survived it, but a lot of people didn't do so well.
Well, I also go like
Trends were very severe.
I go in terms of like disco. Okay, everybody sold out and did disco. The Stones did it. The Who did it. Bowie did it. Everybody did it.
Yeah.
The Kinks. They even did a Superman.
Yeah, actually.
And don't tell
disco influence.
Don't tell the Pink Floyd guys, but Another Brick in the Wall is a disco song. Sorry. Great song.
It does have, yeah.
It is sort of.
Take it. Yeah, it's a very like. It's
basically staying alive.
You have a dance mix to that.
Different, but it's the same thing.
Well, I think the '80s, the fashions #1 killed everything. But I remember, like in terms, I think Stan and I both said this. They had a thing about the biggest albums of the '80s. The only person, the album we owned, were by Tom Petty. Nobody else. Nobody else.
Well, there was
REM. Smithereens.
REM I love the Smithereens. Who doesn't?
Oh, no, they're
everybody. REM has not aged well with me for some reason. It's just the music. I mean, whenever I say this kind of stuff, some people get pissed because they think I'm, saying mean. But it's just if you like it or you don't like it, But and somehow the music is just not aged that well with me. I like certain songs, but I just don't pull.
I don't know. I mean, the first couple records are really cool, jangly guitar and stuff. So that makes me want to ask Rob. Well, then the Smiths too were doing that jangly. Guitar picky stuff. What do you think? Have they aged well?
I haven't listened to them in a long time, so I can't.
Morrissey has been a bit of a problem.
Yeah, see, Morrissey
is
Johnny Marr's great though. I like Johnny Marr.
Johnny Marr's great, and he's worked with everyone, and he's the kind of musician that just to play and is amazing, and has collaborated with everyone. Has done everything from electronic music.
I've never heard anything bad by that guy. He's always said good stuff.
Well, it's
the thing. Morrissey's thing always was to say outrageous stuff.
Yeah.
He would say outrageous stuff, but the problem is saying outrageous stuff in 1983 and saying outrageous stuff now have very different consequences.
Even the movie about them, he comes off as a total dick. From
everything you see, pretty much his image was being an insufferable, just kind of an insufferable androgynous bummer. Just like a guy. It's like you listen to the song, but it's like this is not a person that anyone would voluntarily hang out with.
Well, you ever see the meme? It's like Tommy listens to.
It's so funny though, but back in the '80s,
Tommy listens to The Cure every day of the week. What does Tommy have? Tommy has depression. But the other one I was saying, I've been getting in the real.
It was funny back in the '80s. The Smiths were thought of as like a gay kind of group, and nobody listened to them because they were gay and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but that's if you listen to the music, it's great. They're great guys.
Well, I've been on a replacements kick of late and reading about them. What a mess that band was. It was like Paul Westerberg.
They're really good.
Somebody would say he did some bad stuff, and I'm like, okay, Paul Westerberg's entitled to write a couple bad songs because everything he's written is great.
They were a.
Is that too bad?
They were a bar band that got kind of big, but we're still a bar band. They couldn't get out of the bar band mentality. And
it's true. It's sort of like
Here's actually a question for all us music people. You too. You're theater, more music, but you're music. Is there anybody you like now who back years ago you look at yourself and go, I can't believe I like that artist now because I always thought they sucked or I can't stand them. I'll surprise you with one. I never liked Van Morrison.
I never used to like,
but then I got into Van Morrison now, which is kind of weird. I think he's mostly not a nice person, but again, the artist in the art.
Nick Lowe didn't like him.
You didn't like Nick Lowe?
No, Van Morrison and Nick Lowe didn't like each other.
Well, I don't think a lot of people like Van Morrison.
He's another one.
I thought Van Morrison was kind of a crabby guy.
He's just a complete asshole.
Greg Townsend would tell stories about he recorded the Hillbilly Moon explosion in the studio next door, and you hear Van every other minute throwing him. You missed one note, he'd throw the musician out.
Well, have you heard the clip? It was just like a recording of him in concert, and he's singing a song, and then somebody yells out, "I love you," and he goes, "Shut the fuck up," or something like that, like genuinely just really mad. It's like I say no talking. Just like,
yeah, but Chaz, is it Pink Floyd for you?
Yeah, it sounds like he's a little bit.
Yeah.
Have you become like a Pink Floyd fan?
Yes, Chaz.
A Pink Floyd fan?
Yeah.
I mean, I love I love them, but I'm not like a fanatic. Like I don't collect their stuff or anything. I think Roger Waters is kind of another guy like Van Morrison, who's sort of an asshole. But,
yeah,
they're great.
Yeah,
he's a pretty big asshole. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Jesus, Dark Side of the Moon. It's a masterpiece. Come on.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's great.
Yeah, I know. Despite being overkilled on CMF, it's still a great album.
It's great. It's totally
used to
great.
play the hell out of it.
Oh, well, that was the thing with the radio. Okay, yeah, it's great, your classic rock, but is it always the same five songs?
Yeah,
but then you turn it on. One of my friends said he was in town. He turns it on in the morning. It's Clapton, it's Zeppelin. Turns it on in the afternoon. It's the same Clapton and Zeppelin playing again. They may have a few more songs out there.
But the thing is, they wouldn't be doing it if people didn't want them to do it. Exactly. And that's the thing. They don't do this to annoy people. They do this because, and I guarantee you, ask anybody who works there, who is like, if they ever hear Led Zeppelin again, they're going to drill their own eyes out. Just the same thing. It's like, I don't listen.
But they were like,
if you're, did you ever catch the new Alison Krauss with Robert Plant?
He's doing another album with her. He's doing another album with her, I guess, now next year. They're doing the
sequel. It just came out.
Oh, it did, yeah. He looks like Colonel Sanders now.
That's a great record.
Yeah, he looks pretty good. They do that song by the Everly Brothers, The Price of Love. It's really good.
Oh, yeah. I like the first album.
It's like a later day release.
All right, here's a question for everybody, and our good friend Greg Prebos writes about this a lot online, about what do you think of the Stones now? Are they just selling out, or just let them do what they want to do, or?
Well,
I think they're going to play until they're dead.
Music people, sorry.
That's Greg's big rant. Greg's big rant is it's not my Stones anymore.
This is. I mean, sorry. Go ahead. No, music guys. Cut me off now. Don't let me talk.
Well,
I think they should just do their solo stuff.
It doesn't. That doesn't really. I always say if you don't want to go,
can you repeat that, Chaz? You got cut off.
I think they're still good. I mean, if somebody threw me a ticket in a small club, I'd go see them. I don't know if I would go see them in a stadium. I don't think I'd see anybody in a stadium.
No, I won't either. What's the point?
They're not like a cultural force anymore. They're not like they're not dangerous like they were in 1970.
Yeah,
good.
It's different time.
They're a Fortune
it's funny though.
Company. They have been for a very long time.
Think about it. Nobody's dangerous right now. It's not allowed, or it's not something that's marketable. Nobody's dangerous. That I know. I'm an old man, so maybe there is.
Another thing.
Yeah, it's true. There's people that they're doing good stuff that's dangerous in that field, but nobody's playing them. They won't get a hit.
Selling out isn't a thing anymore.
Push
it's not a thing, and it hasn't been for some time. Because it's become an old-fashioned way of thinking. Because
maybe they've run out of ways to shock people. Who knows?
Well, the problem is the way you shock people now is making people angry, and it doesn't work the same way it used to. It doesn't have the same impact that it used to.
It's sort of like the F word is too common. It's like becoming a common thing.
Yeah.
Every time you say the word fuck, it's not doesn't have shock value anymore.
I go back to when I was in high school. My parents were very liberal in terms of letting me do what I wanted, read what I wanted, go to shows. And I went to a Catholic school. And like when I went to go see Ozzy, some of my friends really wanted to go, but they wouldn't let him go because he worshiped the devil.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And people were there was just somehow, I don't know, understand back then, the satanic messages of these bad groups.
Well, that's the stuff like.
Well, you know what? Did you remember that kid, Porcupine, Randy Cristodero?
Oh, yeah, very much. Yeah, he passed away.
Yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he passed away. he said that people get into satanic worship just to get laid. They do it just to meet chicks and stuff.
That's always usually it's money or sex, right? It's money or sex.
That's why do you?
Yeah.
Why do you think we do
drugs?
this?
It's
That's
just
why people start cults. For power and sex.
Yep. Marilyn Manson, the guy from Marilyn Manson got canceled because he didn't treat his women very well.
No, it's one of those. It was another one of those situations where it's where there's smoke, there's fire kind of thing. Where
Never
it's
paid
like
attention
the more
to him, though,
when a slew of people come forward with these stories and they're getting them backed up, there's a good chance that they're true.
I'm glad sometimes I don't know.
I saw Marilyn Manson in a movie. He was actually a good actor. The guy's actually a pretty good actor.
I'm in a couple things.
He was in Jawbreaker for a second. Remember Jawbreaker?
Yes. Yeah.
I like that.
Is it the one where he's on roller skates? I'm not sure which one that was.
He's like Rose McGowan's like secret boyfriend or whatever.
She was for a while. They went out for a while.
Yeah. There's that whole thing.
The one who really did him in was that one from that was in the sci-fi Westworld. Gorgeous actress.
Rachel Wood.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name. She did him in.
Rachel Wood. Yeah, she was with him for a while, and it was not a good scene.
She's very nice too. I actually ran into her once at a club in New York. Very nice.
Really?
Yeah. It wasn't nothing comes of it. I'm not going to embellish the story or anything.
Well, she's another one who got kind of
what's her name?
Everything at a very young age.
Rachel Wood, but she would just hang out at
Evan Rachel Wood. Wow.
Very unpretentious.
Wow.
Yeah, well, that was I think the reason she would get sucked into a lot of the stuff is because she was a very genuine, trusting person. But she was really drawn, like a lot of people at a young age are drawn to the kind of other side, it's like you're drawn into the scene, and you want to piss off your parents or whatever, and she, she's had a lot of baggage over the years, and she's come out of it remarkably really level-headed. She has kids, she has a really good career, but she got to the point where she just didn't want to look, I'm going to point out the shit that happened to me because it was happening to all these other people at the same time.
And I think it can destroy you. It can destroy you. That's the problem. Because you either you somehow, but otherwise your life's destroyed too early.
Look at Monica Lewinsky. Look at Monica Lewinsky. Monica Lewinsky didn't do anything wrong, but who is the one?
She got the front of it.
Bill Clinton got to go on to continue being president and still very well thought of to many people, and still a political force that's still out there. And she was treated like garbage. She was a punchline to everyone's jokes and was dragged through the mud. It's just you're not. She wasn't a public figure. Yep. She was a kid who was working for the most powerful man in the world, and she, and if you see her now, and she has risen above that, she has, she's done very well for herself. But it's just that's kind of.
Does she still work in Washington?
I don't. As she's involved, I think she's a lawyer. I'm trying to. I saw a whole thing on her, but very smart and very funny.
By the way, you want to hear something? Want to hear something funny about Hillary Clinton?
What?
Sure.
Well, was there something funny about Hillary
when
Clinton?
She left the White House? When she left the White House, she took a bunch of stuff in a moving van, just stole things right out of the White House.
No, I heard about this one.
Stay in the White House.
I think everyone does that. I really.
Why
she took everything, left with it.
Yeah,
it was hers.
I think a lot of people.
And then
I've heard multiple people. One of those.
I did when I was at Christmas parties and
stuff. I think it's a whole class thing. You don't get in these.
It's like stealing mints from a hotel.
Rich to begin with, and then
it's like stealing towels from the hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And she's already rich; she could buy stuff, but she stole it.
So, Dal, how is that movie with Austin going? Did you know Dal's done another movie with Austin Lake? We had him on here.
Oh yeah.
How's it been going?
Get out.
No, really.
I haven't heard much from Austin. Austin's on vacation. I talked to Austin. I have a script that we're going to work on together for the next upcoming thing, hopefully. but he's on vacation or went on some sabbatical or something. I'm not sure what he's doing.
He did our Zoom.
Austin and his brothers, I guess.
That's what happened.
It all went to his head.
Egomania of doing this show. We ruined another one.
We have boosted so many careers.
He's got to decompress after that. It was a good movie. I thought it was for a short film. It was very good. It had a little bit of Stanley Kubrick style in it.
Get out.
Yeah.
Is there? Did Stanley Kubrick fake the moon landing, Del?
Yeah.
Did Stanley Kubrick
well, he didn't fake the moon landing, but he did have like fake things for representation of actual things. You know, like he would show like the moon landing. He would like, I think it had something to do with the filming of the fake version of it. But they actually went to the moon.
But
if you have a powerful enough telescope, you can see where they landed.
Dude,
yeah, they've calculated based on like currency of that time and based on the value of that time, the cost to fake the moon landing to the extent that it would have cost like 5 times more than to actually go to the moon.
You've never seen Capricorn.
Yeah,
Well,
listen,
go on,
Pat.
Yeah.
Here's my question for Pat and all you guys. So when Neil Armstrong is stepping off the spaceship onto the moon, they're filming it. Who the hell's filming him? Who's filming him? Like, is there a camera already set up?
A camera on the ship.
I don't know per se, but I'm sure if you ask,
it's called a Hasselblad camera. It was attached right to the freaking outside of the ladder.
I imagine there was something they planned.
Okay,
there was a camera, must have been attached outside of the landing craft because
outside, right on the side of the ladder.
I don't think I've ever seen like any.
None of that's faked because it'd be too hard to fake, like you said. It'd be too hard. Well, if you had a strong enough telescope, you could see where they landed.
And also,
I got a letter from Neil Armstrong when I was a kid, a real letter from him. I lost it, but when we were in,
you still have it?
I wrote when we were in first grade. Our teacher said, write to a celebrity and ask them if they took Latin, if it was useful, because we were taking Latin. And I wrote Neil Armstrong, and I got a letter back, signed by him in blue ink, and it said, "Thank you for writing me. I'll have to be honest. No, my career track was being educated with engineering and science, so I didn't really need Latin. But it was really nice, and it was like, wow, probably collectible if I still had it.
It's very cool. You still have it somewhere or not?
That is a
no.
Probably worth a lot of money.
I have letters from Frank Horton.
Good old Frank Horton.
Yeah, Representative Frank Horton.
I gotta say though, that is a ballsy thing for a Latin teacher to do. It's a challenge to make. How many letters are you gonna get back saying Latin?
Does anybody know this line? Move. Somebody's got to know this. I saved Latin. What have you ever done? Under the moon and an astronaut done stuff.
Yeah,
it is ballsy in a way.
I learned how to speak Klingon.
Let's throw that. Yeah,
Rob's looking good, man. Rob, you look like a cross between Where's Waldo and the guy on the Jaws boat. You're looking good though.
Oh no, Richard Dreyfuss or
Robert Shaw.
Robert Shaw.
Oh, it better be.
I think
Robert
we need a bigger boat.
Where's Robert?
It's Robert Shaw.
Jaws. Robert Shaw.
Cage goes in the water. You go in the water. Shark goes in the water. All right, shark. Farewell and adieu. I still love that.
It's a roll back in their heads.
Great. That's
I see Jaws every so often. I enjoy every bit of it.
I watch it movie. It's one of my summer movies. I try to watch it every summer.
Apparently, Richard Dreyfuss.
They did not get along.
Richard Dreyfuss doesn't get along with anybody. No. It's just like there's a whole thing with What About Bob that Richard Dreyfuss and Bill Murray did not get along. People just don't get along with him.
No,
it's actually added to the movie having them not get along, believe it or not.
Oh no,
tension between the two.
Tell. Yeah, it is. Yeah, death therapy, Bob. It's the only way to be sure.
Yeah, sometimes you could tell, even though they're trying their best.
Yeah,
but I guess like James Doohan would say, like he would address Captain Kirk and have respect for him, where he never liked Shatner. Welcome to the club for a lot of.
Did you ever see Robert Shaw in his other movies?
Yeah, Black Sunday, the villain in From Russia with Love.
Yeah, he's like, he has blonde hair in the
Yeah.
one scene. You know, he's playing a Nazi.
Yeah, he's
He
a
doesn't
writer,
look, I couldn't believe it was the same guy.
Yeah, he was another guy who would kind of disappear.
Freaking Robert Shaw.
Underrated movie, Robin and Mary, and he was the sheriff of Nottingham, wasn't he? Or he was one of the bad guys.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think he wasn't that, possibly.
Yeah, but then I think he passed away early on from a heart attack, like right after Jaws.
Yeah, not long after then. Yeah.
Yeah, that was his last movie, I think, or one of his last movies.
Hey, you guys want a good Bill Murray movie? 2004, The Life Aquatic. He does like a Jack.
I love it.
Thing. That's a cool little movie. It's got great music. It's got like Iggy Pop and stuff. And
I'm a big Wes Anderson fan. Some people think he's pretentious, but I like all his stuff.
Yeah, he co-wrote that with Noah Baumbach, who's also cool.
Well, I like a lot of his stuff. I actually like Francis Ha a lot, but I always liked. I have a lot of his films.
Hey, is the Little Theater still doing stuff?
I was actually just there. Yeah. The Mighty High and Dry have been playing. They had a residency, and Connie Deming, who's been on the show, she has sold out her Joni Mitchell. Connie Sings Joni thing yesterday, and I mean it's limited.
No, she could pull that off really well. I love her. She's great.
Oh, she was great on the show. That's actually I don't know a lot of Joni Mitchell. She's one of the ones.
You know what? I'm confused. I meant the Dryden. Is the Dryden still?
Actually, we just went to the gingerbread houses. There, I don't know about the films. I think yes, they do. They are showing films.
I used to.
They're being careful with. You have to wear the masks, obviously, which is good.
Didn't they do a lot of renovating?
They renovate. You wouldn't even recognize it if you came back here. Now you go in the front. They've changed it all around.
Yeah.
I remember going there to let off steam.
I like the really good.
Most miserable month of my life. I was student teaching in Penfield, and it was just I felt like I was like underwater with 1,000 pounds of gravity. It did not feel right. And I would go in the afternoon, and I think maybe even like smoke a joint or something. And I'd go and watch a movie in the afternoon to like try to like de-stress. At the Dryden, and it was funny. You could hear like beer bottles rolling down the aisle, not from B, but from other people. It was a cool place.
Sneak them in.
Well, I had a friend who used to bring flasks to every movie. They caught him at one.
Did they kick him out or just took it away from him?
Yeah, they were going to take it away. He's like, I'm out of here. You're not taking my flask away. Unfortunately, I think the cinema is. You might know more. I think it's closed. Unfortunately,
yeah, I was actually
I think it is closed
because somebody when it closed, it was bought by some new people, and they were going to they said they were going to do all this work and then reopen it in like September, but I don't know what happened with that. I kind of lost track of that. And
there used to be a porn theater on Monroe Avenue.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah, now
never went to see porn there, but my dad took me and a friend when we were like 9. They were showing Destroy All Monsters with Godzilla, but it was at that porn theater.
Wow.
Because there was one on Lake Avenue they used to show. You remember these kids? There was one on Lake Avenue they used to show those movies because I remember my dad would take me down there. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
Was it the Riviera?
There's that Lakeshore Theater that was down there.
But they showed Godzilla movies. They showed like those kind of movies, like Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah, that was fun. That was all that fun stuff. It wasn't just Rocky Horror Picture Shows and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
So I think theaters.
They did have that too.
Theaters are going to survive COVID. They're still going to be around.
Well, I know here. We just had the Blackfriars soiree yesterday. We've done it virtual 2 years in a row, and they're getting good support. I love Blackfriars.
Yeah, no,
it's a good theater too for local theater.
And honestly, how can you do shows there when you have to limit capacity because you can't really, you don't have big capacity.
That's why a lot of smaller places just really didn't.
Thing was, like I said, I was at Three Heads yesterday. I went by Muck. Something was going on there because the parking lot was full and it said open, so something was going on there. So
Muck's been open for a while. Yeah.
Just none of you were doing something there. So
they moved from the East Avenue location, right? They're not there anymore.
What'd you just say?
Muck, they moved. It's not in the same place, right?
Yeah,
it used to be the Pyramid Art Center at one time.
Yeah, it's still there because I
Pyramid Art
tickets
Center
last night.
I mean, muck has always been muck. I mean, I don't, I think, I don't know what Pyramid Art Center was completely, that might have been run by, I don't know what.
Chaz? I was thinking, Chaz, did your bands play Pyramid Art Center?
Yeah, we did, and Stan and my friend Russ had connections with a woman named Gina who ran it with her husband, and it wasn't my connection; it was theirs. But we actually were able to sneak in and practice there, which was crazy because we would have been liable if we had like knocked into a painting or anything like that, and we were like, drinking beer and stuff, and then we would have to clean up, like not leave a trace that we were in there because it was an operational art gallery. And I think one time to show her that we were loyal and grateful, we were like we cleaned the place like when ex-cons were taken out on the bus to like pick up litter, we like scrubbed the toilets and did crazy stuff like that. But yeah,
I did one performance at the Pyramid Arts Center with McFadden's Parachute when I was with my friend Darren.
Oh, cool.
It was supposed to be the projectiles,
and
then I ended up doing it with Darren, and we used tapes in place of musicians. We had to play with the tapes, but it worked out. What's that?
What's the deal with Darren? What happened to him? I don't see him on social
he's still
media
around. He's going to be in. Yeah, he does a lot of metal detecting. He looks for coins and stuff at old farmlands and stuff like that. Plus, he's an artist. He does artwork. He's still busy. He's very busy.
We should do that.
He's going to be doing my Idol Worshippers reunion once we get it going.
Well, we seem like
at least in the studio.
From all, hopefully, COVID Part 16 won't happen next year or something, but who knows? You know, one place
I know.
Really gone to, I've never really gone to Downstairs Cabaret.
I've been. I don't know where they are now.
I went there once.
Yeah, I went there a couple
of
times
twice
back when they were on St. Paul. But
kind of like a real small type of theater. It's like you're right in front of the people that are right there. You're right not too far away from the stage.
And there's that other place
right sit up on the stage
too during like Fringe Fest. They have stuff. I've seen MJ and Kate do things there.
Yeah.
But we have like a few little time things because of the holidays, but it's been interesting to say the least.
We have been all over the map with these discussions.
We've been all over. So you guys, you're always welcome back on.
I think we should call these the grab bag episodes.
Yeah, we should call these the grab bag episodes.
Who knows?
And then we have guests and stuff on here too. But that's what we do. We just start yakking it. Who knows what the heck is going to come up?
Who knows what you're going to just yak right up?
Yeah. You run the gamut. There's so much stuff to talk about. It's just you got to pull things out of the sky. That's what you got to do. Just pull things out.
Yeah,
thick of stuff.
I kind of feel like I screwed myself because if I ever run for mayor or public office, they're going to dig this up and.
I don't think anybody's good. I don't think the lines are pretty.
No, and
as long as you don't say anything bad.
A few episodes, and I'm not going to mention who the people were. There's a few episodes we just got rid of because it turned out we had out and out psychopaths on.
Yeah,
and I don't want to be when they pull this stuff out when you're just talking about one thing that's innocuous, they pull some crazy ass stuff out. And well, how about those Mets? You have to get rid of it, but I never knew they were Met cases before they were on.
Sometimes people will surprise. That's why we don't do this live.
Well, at least they don't know how to.
You don't talk too much about sports. I'm terrible with sports.
Well, no, we'd have to pull somebody out because we don't know jack about sports either.
I don't want to talk about sports.
We try to avoid the politics.
There's only one thing I follow, and it went very bad today, and I don't want to talk about it.
It's the Buffalo Bills, right?
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, yeah. What was going on?
It was terrible. It was just
they put.
It's their tradition to do this stuff.
Yeah, it's all. The Buffalo of old is coming back.
But great, you
anyway.
guys, and we'll like continue on with
Yeah.
in the future and every I know how to get a hold of him.
We should go on with Stan the Man.
Oh, he will
Three
be. I just
Rivers
haven't gotten a
people
hold of him
together.
because I died and I haven't had time to catch up yet. So I'm
Well,
gonna get.
dudes, I'm grateful because I know there's
Stan's
a line
been
out
on.
at the
Stan's been
door.
on.
For
Yeah,
this,
we've
so
had
thank
one.
you.
But everything else. But thanks a lot, guys. And
You should get Cousin Al to go on.
if you
give
can
about 2
find him,
words out
I'll
of
get
the
him
guy.
on. I don't know him that well. I'd have to somebody get a hold of him because I only know him like a little bit.
You could
Alrighty.
get Brian Goodman. Anyway, I know you guys have a line around the block to get on this show, so I feel
You guys
important.
all part of the family
you.
now. That's why we have a very odd family. to
Thank
say the
you very
least.
much.
Already.
You're the weird cousin, not the cousin Al's, but thanks a lot, man.
Thanks, guys. Have a great Sunday.
I'll be in
tomorrow.
touch with you for
See ya.
Thanksgiving.